In childhood days, I had no words for my awareness. There was no urge to express, and therefore no language. In looking back, things seem to have been vague, yet there were deeply rooted tendrils of feeling and of being. How good to have no concern, either to assert or to share. Without efforting, I experienced the interdependence of all beings. There was easy healing and harmonious breathing in a love that received in giving and gave in receiving. In this childhood mode of experiencing, God was the Self, revealed in all things. Beyond the veil of words, there was an unmental awareness of true relationship and right interdependence. And in that living awareness, there was no enthusing, no trying, no praying, no ideal beauty. Life was all too real for ecstasy and for rapture, too simple for intensity and for wonder, too rich for tears or for laughter, too deep for thought. How do we know one another spiritually or even psychically, beyond name and shape? Egos reveal or betray themselves by their efforting, and their antics cease to satisfy. Anyway, it is not possible for egos to share in unitive awareness. Efforting and wordiness pertain to ego consciousness. Books at best are the no longer inhabited shells of wisdom, but often they are the exhibition tomes of ego consciousness. They're tombs. They may be interesting records of stutterings on the way, but are rarely relevant to the deeper experience of simple, living awareness in which the soul is without words, in naked aloneness. Among books, the most satisfying is the mystic book of nature that unfolds us, and each of us at birth is presented with a unique copy of this sacred flesh-bound volume. If one is aware of the real communion of interfusing harmonies going on all the time within and around us, one does not go out eagerly to have the vision blurred by desire sediments of egos, by the assertions of likes and dislikes, or by the exhibition of power complexes. If one does not choose to go out among the efforting noises of egos, it may be useful for the contrast to the silence, and also for testing oneself to find out if it is possible there also to know the silence. In the established and balanced unitive awareness of immanence and of transcendence, of presence and of being, ego ceases to usurp. Once the world is known to be a dream, there is an awakening from the efforting of becoming. When we experience God and realize ourself livingly, our wordiness ceases and we live at ease. As it is said, the time shall come, and now is when ye shall worship God, neither in temple nor in mountain caves, but in spirit and living truth. Which means in the silence of the cave within. Not worship nor wordship, but unefforting worthship, which is simple living awareness. Deep within each of us is an awareness of an origin and a destiny. This awareness being a pure reflection of our real being. To remain conscious of this origin and destiny as we make our pilgrimage through the jungles of emotionalism, the mirages of mentality, and the wilderness of civilization, requires that we allow ourselves to be guided by the light of intuition. Even when we are stumbling in the darkness, deluded by ego consciousness, that light ever beckons us. From the Eden of the past to the paradise which will be, through the illusion of time, we stumble and stray, yet ever we are led by the mystic light that shines in the darkness. As we slowly learn how to loose and unfold our intuitive wings, we also gain courage in using them consciously. In the fullness of time, we reawaken and find ourselves in eternity's sunrise, here and now. We forget to remember, but we also remember to forget. Ego consciousness is self-forgetting. The dawn of awareness is the due reawakening of conscious self-identity in the light that never was on land or sea, but ever is. Though the light of our sun and all the other star suns doth fade and cease to be. Stilly, purely, and wordlessly, we may be aware of ourself, even in the ego play and in the Shakti antics of pretending to be spiritual, in the light of death and in the darkness of what ye call life. The mystic light is within all things and all changes. It is the real correspondence, the immediate, effortless rapport. The mature soul is not deceived by ego ideals and rosy sweet sentimentality, nor is it dismayed by power politics or by psychic storms. It remembers to recollect its pure memory of self, one's true nature. Among fellow pilgrims, we seem to recognize the few who have come through the veils, who have arrived and who silently and effortlessly radiate this remembrance, this true memory. Even their words have the quality of silence and the fragrance of a recollection of true being. True clairvoyance is to see vibrationally the mystic light radiating from all forms and functions. True clairaudience is to hear calmly the soundless voice of the Sunyata silence, the mystic cave of our inner realm. True death is to expose the ego-deformed consciousness to the light of the whole consciousness, the pure life which we are.